Hello everybody, it's me again. I'm back here. I know I missed a day or two of videos. It's because I got sick for a couple of days. You know, the weather is changing and there's a lot of pollen and dust, so I have a bad allergy problem. And so I want to catch up on a few things here. I have a couple of topics to go over. So I'm going to go over them briefly over the past few days that I was unable to speak about. So first things first, we have a post on Twitter by a lady named Samira Muhyiddin. I don't know who she is, but she is, I don't know who she is personally, but she is quoting somebody named Jonathan Greenblatt, who's an ADL CEO. So if you're thinking of extremist Zionists, this guy is like the top of the top there. So she is writing on Twitter, this is disturbing. Jonathan Greenblatt, compares a Palestinian kufiya scarf to the Nazi swastika. 3 college students were shot back in November for wearing kufiyas. So yes, let's go over that really fast. I actually know one of those guys. I knew one of those guys. Unfortunately, 3 Palestinians, she's referring back to the shooting by the white supremacist, the Zionist, who shot 3 Palestinians in Vermont. I think it was Vermont, which is like, it was either Vermont or New Hampshire, which is like one of that's like the safest states to be in. It's crazy that it happened there. You really can't escape from, ignorant murderers. And I'm happy to say that those 3 guys came out of it alive. That's why I'm a big supporter of people carrying firearms legally, following all the laws. Carrying a firearm to protect yourself. When we're in the United States, it's in the Constitution to protect this law for us. We should take every advantage of this law. And I don't care where you're from. I don't care where you're from because I don't hate anybody. I don't hate any race. I don't hate any ethnicity or race. So if you're black, white, Latino, you're Arab, Middle Easterner, Asian, I don't care where you're from, you should have a right to protect yourself. That's why I'm a big advocate of firearms. That's why I have my little own collection as well. Of course, everything's legal. We have to follow the law. We can't just be vigilantes. We can't murder people. We can't do anything like that. We can't justify killing people. Taking somebody's life away illegally. This is this is a totally different thing. But when it comes to a situation like those 3 Palestinians, where they were getting shot at. It would be that's clear self-defense at that point. I wish that they were able to shoot back. That's what I'm trying to say. Many Palestinians get their lives taken away in the Middle East because they do not have access to firearms. So I don't want to see us going through the same struggle over here. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm a big advocate of firearms, of the Second Amendment. And everything legal. Every state follow the state laws. I do think that just to go off a little bit off the path here, I do think that gun laws should always require a mental stability test. It should require an extremist test. It should make sure the person doesn't have any crazy views like black people are taking over America or start a race war or terrorists, ISIS, or whatever it may be. They should be given at least some kind of questions like, hey, what do you think about this stuff? You know what I mean? Because a lot of my shootings that happen here are because of these crazy views that some person would have, and they just go and kill a bunch of random people. And that should never be allowed to happen. That should never be allowed to happen. So I fully agree, everybody should be able to have a firearm, but I think that everybody should be given a test. They should be fingerprinted. They should be in a system. I know some Americans don't agree with that. They think that Second Amendment means I get to have whatever I want and not tell the government. Okay, you may be an innocent person doing that, okay, but the next person could not be, and then the next person could not be, and the next person could be. So to have we should have it standardized that everybody goes through the same steps, and then when you pass those steps, when you pass the examination and you're cleared, you should be able to buy as many firearms as you want, as many bullets as you want, as many magazines, as many whatever you want. But you just have that mental test just to make sure that everybody's, and we don't have any crazy people buying guns, because we don't need any more mass shootings in America. It's an epidemic. So, but when it comes to self-defense, I think every single person should carry a firearm in the world, not just America. Because unfortunately, there are evil people out there, and for you to be able to protect your family, you need to have a firearm. You need to have a firearm. I don't advocate shooting at police. I don't advocate shooting innocent people. I don't advocate any of that. But when I'm talking about somebody breaking in your home, you want to be able to protect your family from a legitimate threat of your life. When you're in the street, if somebody starts shooting at you and you need to protect your life, that is a legitimate excuse to have to take the necessary actions in order to protect you, yourself, people around you, or your family. So that's to go back now to the post here by Samir Muhyiddin. Greenblatt is CEO of the ADL, which used to care about civil rights. His internet gets cut in the interview. His internet gets cut. It's a little bit random to bring up. Maybe that's a mercy on us that we didn't have to hear this guy speak. But that's pretty crazy if you think about it. Kufiya scarf is like a Nazi swastika. That's crazy, because I have a Palestinian scarf right here. And I'm going to go ahead and take off my microphone. I hope it's not too loud from over here. And I'm going to place it right there. So I have a Palestinian kufiya because I am Palestinian. And this is a very nice one from Jordan. And I'm going to just go ahead and put this on real quick for the remainder of the video. And then I'm going to explain why I like the kufiya, why I love the kufiya, why I wear it everywhere I go. I tied it really badly. Hold on. Let me try this again. Alright, there you go. I'm looking at myself. Okay, that's good now. So why I wear the Palestinian kufiya? Palestinian kufiya is not just a scarf. It's not just a scarf. It's a symbol of our national freedom. It's a symbol of our freedom. This Palestinian kufiya, wearing it and letting people know that we exist, it goes a long way for me personally. Because we are being ethnically cleansed. Our culture is being wiped out. In some parts of our culture, like our delicious food, is being stolen. It's very important for us to show our stance in the world. We don't back down. We never back down. We will not accept genocide. We will not accept murder. We will not accept criminal activity on our... I have worn this kufiya here. No, not this exact one. I have another one. But you guys get the point. I have worn a kufiya every single country I've been to. Every single country I've been to. In Jordan, I was wearing it, even though I was getting more nastier looks there than I was getting in the USA. I was wearing it in France. I wore it in France. And French people do not like anybody who's not French. And the weird thing about that is nobody likes the French back. But I wore this in France. I was searched once by the police, the military. It was actually the military patrol one time where they made me take off some of my clothes in public to search me. Actually, that happened while I was wearing a Palestinian kufiya. They made me. They searched me in the street. I don't know what kind of ideas they had. Gave them my passports. They let me go. I've worn this kufiya in the airports, and I've been called a terrorist when I was in Switzerland. When I was in the city of Basel. When I was by the actual airport authorities, by the way. They literally looked at my passport and looked at me and they said, terrorist, like he's a terrorist in French. Which is it was more of a torture to hear French, to be honest, than to actually be called a terrorist. But I've worn this in Germany, I've worn it in the UK, I've worn it everywhere I go, and I'm going to continue to wear it everywhere I go. This is a symbol of our freedom. This is our symbol of anti-colonial belief, anti-colonial struggle. We're never taking this kufiya off. We'll never take this kufiya off. This kufiya is staying. It's not going anywhere. So, now to continue on with the next topic. I have, just to go back to my list here, The death of aid workers. So, Israel bombed a very known aid food kind of distribution center. This was, or should I say, non-governmental organization, and killed 7 people. I think one of them was Palestinian. I think there were a couple Australians, a couple Germans. I haven't quite looked over the names in detail, but I thought it was very important to bring this up because it's a very big deal. Israel bombing aid workers is just disgusting. And of course, as usual, it's always being swept under the rug. In a few days, something else is going to come, and something else crazier is going to happen. It's going to get swept under the rug again, because no lives matter. No lives matter unless they're European lives, So, or unless they're on the side of the Europeans, even, because a lot of the people who got killed were European, and they were innocent people. They don't deserve to be murdered like that by the filthy terrorists. But it's kind of like an idea of you're either with us or against us, and I feel like if an aid worker going out of their way to help Palestinians, they're automatically going to be seen as a Palestinian. They're not going to be seen as a European anymore. It's like, all right, you are guilty of something in some way. You're going to get bombed. You're going to get killed, and we're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to regret it. We're not going to. There's no shame. There's no shame in the Israeli army at all. My next topic is the bombing of the Iranian consulate in Syria. So, another international crime by the Israelis. They're really on a roll these days, killing aid workers and then killing 33,000 Palestinians, and more than 10,000 of them being children, being under the age of 18, and then now bombing a consulate. Of course, they did bomb a lot of journalists as well. They did bomb a lot of Lebanese. They bombed other airstrikes in Syria as well. But this one was, I would say, outside of Palestine. I would say this was the biggest. This was the biggest hit. This was the biggest thing, because you can't attack a consulate. You disagree with the government. You are at war with the government. You can't just kill their innocent people and be like, yeah, these guys are Iranians, so they deserve it. So nobody has the right to just murder people just for no reason, or for a made up reason. That's not how. We have literally international laws to protect people from these things. So there's really it just shows, as usual, Israel having zero shame to just do whatever they want to do, murdering people left and right. It's whatever, right? It's whatever. That's what they do. They're Israelis. They're the good guys. They're allowed to kill anybody they want to. They can kill 5 million people if they want to. It doesn't matter. As long as you don't say anything to them. If you say something to them, you are automatically an anti-Semite. You're a criminal. So that's a really disgusting thing. And a lot of people are justifying it, being like, yeah, well, it's Iran. Iran are terrorists, and they support terrorism. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a fan of Iran at all. I'm not a fan of Iran. I don't really care for their support of Palestine, because their support of Palestine comes with their own bloody history, their bloody actions in the Middle East. Militias in Iraq that are similar to ISIS. They are similar to ISIS, and they're pro-Iranian. Groups in Syria that are just like ISIS, but they're pro-Iranian. You're no different from ISIS. I don't care about you. I don't care about Iran going to war, or their soldiers being killed. I'm gonna be honest. I really could not care less, honestly. Yemen is under. They're literally in a civil war because of 2 countries that keep supporting each side. Both of them are not innocent. Both of them are not innocent, Saudi Arabia and Iran. So, I guess many of my viewers, you guys will probably be surprised by what I'm just saying right now. For me, I'm going to take the moral stance no matter what. I'm not going to be peer pressured or anything like that. I'm not afraid of anybody. I do not like Iran. Iran is killing many people and many civilians too. So, but this is the thing, is that there's a difference between an Iranian militiaman being bombed, being killed, and there's a difference between an Iranian diplomat. See, I don't like Iran. I really despise Iran because of the actions that they do around the world. But I will never justify killing an innocent person. Okay? Same thing. I'm not going to justify a Jewish guy just getting murdered. That's not, no. We have laws, we follow those laws. If you want to have the moral high ground, you have to be consistent in your logic. Otherwise, you're going to be just like an Israeli who says, well, yeah, we got to kill those babies because they're going to grow up to be terrorists. Or we say, well, no, he wasn't innocent because he was carrying a firearm in his own country when our soldiers were killing his family. No. We have to be consistent in our logic. Otherwise, we will be like the Zionists. So, that was also something crazy that happened over the weekend, and I know nothing's going to happen. I know nothing's going to happen to Israel for murdering those civilians, those Iranian civilians. And to move on to my last topic here, I want to just give an update over the status of my cousin, who I made a video of when I made my video of talking about my village being attacked, Qabatia. He actually passed away from his injuries, unfortunately. So just to recap what happened there, Qabatia was under the attack by IDF. Led to the killing of 4 Israeli soldiers who were attacking the city. And it led to the death of 2 Palestinians, one 13-year-old boy, and one of them who was also my cousin. And then 2 other critically injured, but they're good. I think they've been cleared from critical injury. I think now they have mild injuries. So I'm very happy to hear those 2 guys survived. Unfortunately, my cousin did not make it out alive. He was shot in the head by the IDF. He was a civilian. A weird thing about it is, anytime a civilian gets killed in Jenin, I've noticed this. Anytime a civilian gets killed in Jenin, the IDF or the groups and stuff, they will start posting pictures of those people with guns and be like, look at this terrorist. Look at this terrorist, he had a gun. Like, yeah, no shit. Everybody has guns in the Middle East. Everybody has guns. And guess what? People have a right to protect their families and their homes and their lands from a foreign threat. So no, that does not make them a terrorist to have a firearm. If you want to use that logic, you're going to have to put that same accusation on every single illegal Israeli settler. Call them all terrorists too. Because those people are actual terrorists. That's the thing. They're not defending their own land. They're literally stealing somebody else's land. And illegally by international law. It is not illegal internationally to defend your country, to defend your land, to defend your home. Resistance is a legitimate form of war. So a legitimate form of fighting. So, my cousin never murdered any civilians. He never killed he never killed anybody, actually. He's just a regular guy in his village. He wasn't a fighter, and he got killed. And then they post a picture of him with a firearm as if that incriminates him. Like, yeah, we got the criminal. No, that's not how it works. Use your brain. We all have firearms. My family has so many guns. That doesn't matter. We are the natives of the land. You're coming to our village, killing people from my village. My village has a right to defend itself. So anybody who's calling us terrorists for defending ourselves, shut your mouth. You don't deserve to speak. You don't deserve to speak on the topic at all. And you should fix your morality. You have a problem with your brain. So that's my video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick recap. And if there's anything else you'd like me to speak about, if you have any questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And see you guys in the next video.